getting ready to come,
and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right, Yasrael. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat new moon.
Khan, Shabbat shalom, Israel. Shabbat shalom.
Seemed like it was just a few minutes last time we saw you all.
That's right.
Yep. Hey, so we're going to go ahead and get into our intro scriptures as we do. So we're going to give you a few more seconds to get on and everything. All right, good. You hear us loud and clear. Awesome. All right, seeing the ones up in there, in the chat box.
Khan. For some reason, it feels like I'm lagging on my end for some reason. I don't know. It just feels weird.
Was your internet dragging?
Nah, I don't know. It seems like it's lagging for some reason. I don't know.
Sometimes they do that. Sometimes the companies they'll distribute some of their internet strength to other places.
Yeah, I know we're having storms and winds out here. I don't know if that really affects it any, but it's just weird.
Could be. Hey, we'll just roll with it, man.
Khan.
All right, so everybody should be in Jubilees chapter 1, and I'm going to read verses 7 through 10. And it says, "And do thou write for thyself all these words which I declare unto thee this day, for I know their rebellion and their stiff neck, before I bring them into the land which I swear to their fathers, to Abraham, and to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, Unto your seed will I give a land flowing with milk and honey. And they will eat and be satisfied, and they will turn to strange gods, to gods which cannot deliver them from aught of their tribulation. And this witness shall be heard from a witness against them, for they will forget all my commandments, even all that I command them, and they will walk after the Gentiles, and after their uncleanness, and after their shame, and will serve their gods. And these will prove unto them an offense, and a tribulation, and an affliction, and a snare. And many will perish, and they will be taken captive, and will fall into the hands of the enemy, because they have forsaken my ordinance and my commandments, and the festivals of my covenant, and my Shabbats, and my holy place, which I have hallowed for myself in their midst, and my tabernacle, and my sanctuary, which I have hallowed for myself in the midst of the land, that I should set my name upon it, and that it should dwell there." In verse 10, "And they will make to themselves high places and groves and graven images, and they will worship each his own graven images, so as to go astray, as they will sacrifice their children to demons, and to all the works of the errors of their hearts."
Khan. "And I will send witnesses unto them, that I may witness against them, but they will not hear. And will slay the witnesses also, and they will persecute those that seek the law, and they will abrogate and change everything so as to work evil before my eyes. And I will hide my face from them, and I will deliver them into the hand of the Gentiles for captivity, and for prey, and for devouring. And I will remove them from the midst of the land, and I will scatter them amongst the Gentiles. And they will forget all my law, and all my commandments, and all my judgments, and will go astray as to the new moons, and the Sabbaths, and festivals, and jubilees, and ordinances. And after this, they will turn from me from amongst the Gentiles with all their heart, and with all their soul, and with all their strength, and I will gather them from amongst the Gentiles, and they will seek me, so that I shall be found of them when they seek me with all their heart and with all their soul.
That's right.
And I will disclose to them abounding peace with righteousness, and I will remove them the plant of uprightness with all my heart and with all my soul, and they shall be for a blessing and not for a curse, and they shall be the head and not the tail."
That's right. What a glorious day that would be when that day happens. So, we're going to continue within the Nail in the Coffin series. We're going to be dealing with marriage, relationships, and divorce. And as Brother Eitan is going to Deuteronomy chapter 24, we're gonna read that whole chapter. So we're gonna dig into this and just give you the layouts again of the law, so that you all have something to reference, and make sure you write these precepts down, and what have you, because this is important to know, and especially for our people that are waking up. What what are our roles. We'll be hitting in that as well too. You know, it's important to know, you know, the women to know, the sisters to know their roles as far as marriage, and the men to know their roles, because you know the Most High made us a team. He said it was not good for man to be alone. It's definitely not good for woman to be alone. You can't be a one person team. You know what I'm saying? If you're a sister and you got kids and you don't have no man, no husband, you can't be a one person team. Same with a brother. It's hard for a brother to have kids by himself and don't have his queen. You know, you just, that's not the way the Most High made us. And this is the reason why the heathens, our enemies, have been so successful in dismantling the power structure of the home by taking the man out, because they knew that if they can take the Israelite man out the home, you know, that's like 90% of the battle won already. Because then what does that lead to? That leads to single mothers raising kids by themselves, which you can never teach a boy how to be a man. And no matter how you slice it up, it's just impossible. Because the Most High did not design a woman to raise a boy into a man. So, you know, we have to look at the foundation and what's going on. And even though we see all this, we see that it's 77 point something percent of babies born to unwed mothers. We see that the marriage rate within our community is at an all-time low, where versus the 50s, it was in the 90s. So some kind of way we have to correct this. Some kind of way that, you know, the next generations or whatever are going to have to realize how important their virginity is. The brothers are going to have to realize how important their position is, and they're going to have to turn the tables. They're going to have to do right. That's the only way that we're going to reverse this thing. All right. All right. So, do you have anything, brother, before we start reading?
No. We can go ahead. We can take off at Deuteronomy 24.
Okay. All right. So if you all should be there already, Deuteronomy chapter 24, and we're going to just, you know, we're going to go through the whole chapter. And brother, again, if there's something that you want to bring out or read, if it's on your mind, hey, just bring it out. Hey, you know, brother, I got something to bring out. So then I'll stop and let you make your point. All right. It says, when a man hath taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he hath found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorce, a divorcement, and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house. All right. Well, reading this because we want you to see what the original foundation was, and as we get deeper into this, you know, we'll explain, you know, how when Hamashiach came, you know, there was a time when he said that, you know, it's because the hardness of your hearts, you know, the Most High let you kind of just do, you know, what you please for your women. But now you cannot just get rid of your wife just because she's complaining about something, or, you know, or she's acting naughty or whatever. All right, verse 2. And it says, and when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. All right? And if the latter husband hate her, and write her a bill of divorcement, and give it in her hand, and send it her out of his house. Or if the latter husband die, which took her to be his wife, her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife. All right. After that, she is defiled. All right. So yeah, I hope y'all really get that. For that is an abomination before the Lord, and thou shalt not cause the land to sin, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. Hey, brother, you want to bring that out a little bit? What that was saying?
All right, Khan. Right. All right. Now, dealing from verse 24 from 1 to 4, right? Just a quick breakdown. Remember, like what Brother Daniel was saying earlier, right? Moses had suffered this to happen. This was not a, had suffered them to get divorced because they wasn't getting along or some situation like that because of the hardness of the heart. You know, that wasn't the original what the Most High had set down for Moses to do, right? During just that particular time. So if you go to be another man's wife or anything like that, we see that Hamashiach, he rectified that. And he said, now if you go do that, you become an adulteress, right?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Adulterer or whatever the case may be, right? And it says that now in verse in verse 4, where it says, her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife. So let's say why, right? After that, she is defiled. The reason being is because another man had laid with her.
Exactly. That's the
Right.
point.
So let's say, for example, if you and your you and your wife, y'all get to fighting or whatever, and because the scriptures does say that you can split, right? If y'all get to fight, y'all not getting along, the scriptures does indicate, right, that you can split, right? Not a divorcement, right? But you have to part ways, right? I guess just for the sake of peace, right? Because the Most High doesn't want his children to be fighting and things of that nature, right? So doing the split, if the woman decides to lay with another man, right, she cannot come back and rectify herself to her house, to her husband anymore, right? She cannot come back and rectify that relationship anymore because she is defiled, and she can't, and that man can no longer lay with her. It's sin. That's just basically just to break down that particular one, So that sucks, because like if you listen today, right, we see all types of things, relationships they're breaking up. And the husband and wife, they may break up, and then they may go out into the world and find out that ain't nothing else out there, right? And then they end up getting back together, right? But under the eyes of the Most High, right, that's something that shouldn't be doing. You're defiled, and that whole relationship is an abomination before the Lord, and we know that the Lord doesn't accept anything abominable.
And see, and this goes to show you that a woman was only designed to be with one man. And when you think about it for a minute, like if you had one man in the room and you had like 5 women, that man can get all those women pregnant probably in one night, maybe 2. All right. But how many times can a woman get pregnant? Only once. Something happen?
God, now I just wanted to, while you're on the subject, I had something I wanted to share.
Oh, okay. A woman can only get pregnant once. She has to wait 9 months and everything. So the Most High is a master designer when it comes to that. And when he created Eve from Adam, she was meant to be assigned to one man. And when you look at society today, we already know that it's so backwards and just crazy, that you may have a sister who's maybe been married like 4 or 3 times. That's common these days. Most of them don't even bother to marry. They may just have go from guy to guy. And every time that guy goes into you, and I've always known this, is always like, and this video is going to bring it out too. But anytime a man goes into a sister, that sperm, it's biological, y'all. It's like on a biological level. That sperm gets implanted in her, pretty much forever. And then you got the next dude that comes, he goes into her. What do you think that's happening? Not only is she being humbled, but a genetic piece of that man is being implanted into that woman's DNA. And so you get the next man. So let's say you have a sister that has been through like maybe 10 or 8 brothers. We know it's a lot more than that. Just imagine the different spirits that sister has on her. All right. See, a woman is a receiver. The woman is meant to receive. Men do not receive. We are the givers. All right. So like you can't say, okay, well, men got a high body count, because no, men are not affected by high body counts at all, because we are the giver. We are the seed producers. All right. So that doesn't even apply to us, because naturally, men, we were made to be able to impregnate multiple women. But of course, Adam and Eve, the Most High made them, one for one. But that was before sin. All right.
Well, just to clarify, just to make sure y'all don't misunderstand the brother, he's not saying go out here and be a Pookie and Ray Ray. He's saying how it is. How Jacob was allowed to have 4 wives, right? Yeah. Jacob had 4 wives. It wasn't a problem with him,
but it was done righteously. It was done righteously.
Yeah, everything is
righteous.
That's
the thing you got to understand.
Yeah, we're not talking about fornication out here doing that kind of stuff.
If you do have another wife, you got to be able to take care of that wife, just like the first one.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna play this video real quick. It's just I just thought it was just some useful information. I've actually looked up this. Also has a study too that if you are a female that's mated with a man, that also the spermicide it gets in your the sperm peptide, right? It also increases your memory abilities and all kind of other things. I'll bring that study out a little later, right? From that particular man. So it's really important for for us to raise up the next generation correctly. All right, let me see some look. Let me see.
In a woman, bro, your sperm go to her brain and stay there for the rest of her life.
Good.
Damn.
Good.
That's
I
why
like
the Bible, a woman was only supposed to be with one man her whole entire life because they knew that concept. Or she was supposed to remain a virgin until she got wedded. And your sperm, when you ejaculate in a woman, you have something that literally suppresses her immune system. And then she has something called spermicide that's naturally produced by her vagina to kill all the 100 trillions of sperms for one can make it and the baby can be conceived. What this does when you ejaculate in her, you weaken her immune system, is something called the blood and brain barrier. Your sperm literally passes that and attaches to receptors on her brain. That's why they be so addicted to males. Literally, women scientifically get dick whipped though. Scientifically. Because your sperm literally bonds with her brain forever. And that's why multiple sex partners and women, they start developing multiple different personalities. You ain't ever seen your woman start talking like you? Sometimes I even start looking alike, merging genes.
I always
and shit.
felt like married people, when they start looking alike, you found your match.
Nah, yeah,
So that's the nut
you just
in her
bust
brain?
that many nuts in her.
My sister look just like her husband. I can't wait to call her and say, but that nigga nut in your brain.
Get a
You
follow
gotta
as
take a
well.
long route to get there, but yeah. But that's why you see multiple women that have multiple sex partners. They take on multiple personalities from their partner.
That's how you know she been fucking.
If you ejaculate in a woman.
All right. I just wanted to bring that out, right? Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, and I would encourage you all to really research that. Don't just, hey, I mean, everything that we show you, don't just take it for face value. Do some research, put the work in, do some research. I think you'll be really surprised and amazed, because I used to always wonder, like, man, why women seem like they got so many different personalities and stuff, Why is it seems like they just one way, they one way one day and another way, and it's just this really explains the science behind this. Really makes sense.
God, this is another article I thought that was a little interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna read. I'm gonna just read a little bit of this.
Yep,
Okay.
bring it up.
It says sperm peptide transfer during mating controls a long-term memory checkpoint in the brain of female Drosophila, right? So it says, can mating influence cognitive functions such as learning and memory in a permanent way? We have addressed this question using a combined behavioral and in vivo imaging approach, finding that adversive long-term memory performance strongly increases in Drosophila females in response to sperm transfer following mating, right? A peptide in the male sperm, the sex peptide, is known to cause marked changes in female reproductive behavior, as well as other behaviors such as dietary preference. Here we demonstrate that this sex peptide enhances memory by acting on a single pair of stereogenic brain neurons, in which activation of a sex peptide receptor stimulates the cyclic adenosine menophosphate protein, A pathway.
Mm-hmm.
We thus reveal a strong effect of mating on memory via the neuromodulatory action of a sperm peptide on a female brain, right? So just to touch on what that's basically saying is that having sex with a person, right? Let's say if you having sex with a person, right, and especially if you get pregnant or you've been mated and you're pregnant, right? From the man that you have been impregnated by, his sperm literally lodges into your brain, right, and increases your long-term memory abilities, right? This is why when women, they get pregnant and stuff like this, their dietary habits, they change. It's because it's taking on some of the dietary habits of the man that she had got the sperm from, right? This is why, you change, and the Most High, he only wants you to be with one man. It's not, like you're not supposed to be with a whole bunch of different men. This is why, right? Just like the other thing that we had just brought out earlier. If y'all want to go back and, those studies are, true, right? The last time me and Brother Daniel was talking about the difference between the soul and the body, right? How like an individual, it means that you're two different entities living in one being, right? So it's you don't know how God has made you, right? God has just put your soul in his body to operate, right? You don't know what God has done or what this body needs and creates. This is why the Most High God, he has laws. This is why for you to be holy, the Most High God tells you to avoid eating certain foods, avoid certain actions, and avoid certain things, right? You know, so this is the difference, and this is why it's important to listen, right, and to take heed of the knowledge that the scriptures provide us as a people, right? Because we don't really know, because you didn't build yourself. You're constantly making eye cells. Your hair is constantly growing every day. Hey, some folks, you know, their hair don't grow, right? But you cannot control it. You can't control it. You don't know how many strands of hair in your head. The Most High does, right? The Most High can't control whether you are 6'8", right, or you 5'7", right? The Most High is the one that controls that.
That's right.
Whether you come out dark, light, you know, well, whatever the case may be, right? The Most High is in control. And so because of that, right, we have to, you know, and we are not in control of our own, you know, we're just in control of our actions. That's the only thing that the Most High has left us, right? The control of our actions. So therefore, you know, he can make a educated decision, you know what I'm saying, an educated decision on who to choose, right, based on your actions, right? Am I going to keep the commandments? Am I going to obey God, or I'm going to follow my body, which is born of the ways of the world?
You know, it's amazing. So when you think back, we're still on the subject with this. When you think back in Genesis, when the Most High, you know, Almighty made Eve from Adam, you know, it's like, you know, we go ahead and bring up, yeah, there you go, bring up 24. We'll back on that. It's like the Most High, when he made woman to form to the likeness of her man, which is so powerful. Because think about it, was woman created? Was man created for woman, or was woman created for the man? Of course, the latter. The woman was created for the man, not the other way around. And when you look at the science of the Most High, man, it's like next level. It's just it is so phenomenal the way the Most High had designed his people and designed them to procreate. All right, and when that one woman is assigned to that man, and that man is like his sperm acts as a gene builder for that woman to, you know, help this woman to form to his own body. Man, it's powerful. And, you know, if you could like paint a picture to see what that looks like, it would be mind blowing. And the reason why we were so powerful, especially back in King David's times, because everything was in order. You know, every daughter of Zion was preserved for that man. All right. Of course, the firstborn had to be married off first, so that she could, you know, be at an age where she could have children. But every sister was preserved at a marriageable age for that one man. And what we see today should not have never existed. All right, we shouldn't have the Pookies and the Ray Rays on the loose like this. We shouldn't have single mothers on the loose like this, constantly just committing abominations and disgraces and everything, because it's leading us into a very dark pit. And the more wicked we get, the more harder it is to come out of this, because even the younger generations are being groomed to follow this same pattern. That's what I'm saying. It's at some point it's going to have to be, this cycle is going to have to be broken, because if this cycle continues, when I say this cycle, I'm talking about the high number of babies being born to unwed mothers. If this cycle continues to increase, it's going to get worse. Our numbers are going to continue to diminish like we've never seen before. All right, but there's so much science behind that.
Right, and that's right. You know, just like the other brother was saying, how you know, if you have sex with a person and the sperm, it lodges in there, right? It lodges in your brain, and then that becomes a part of your personality, a part of you. Right. And then, you know, the Most High, Israel, right, what I want you to do is in the comment section, I want you to tell me, right, what is the determining factor for females to be born on the earth? Right? What is the determining factor for females to be born from the earth? Like, where do females come from? Right? Essentially, where do females come from? Right, that's what I want in the comment section, right? That's what I want y'all to answer. Where do females come from, right? Where where do they come from? And then we can go back to the beginning and see why the Most High God, he says that, women are possessions to a man, right? Or why the Most High, he allows that, when a woman is in a man's care, she's a possession to him, right?
Yeah.
And why he's the leader and such.
Exactly. And don't look at it in a negative light. Some women hear possession and think, oh, you got to understand the way the Most High designed it. It was perfect, and it is what it is. The man was designed to rule over the woman, but it's a righteous ruling. All right. Hey, brother, can you scroll up to 5? I'm gonna start with verse 5 and go down.
That's what I'm talking about, Israel. Yes, very good. Yeah. Hey, excellent.
That's right.
That is absolutely right, Israel. That is excellent, because the determining factor for sex, it comes from the man, right? So for every single female that is born on the earth, right, and we got this folly of a doctrine that we got right now, that we're saying all of this and all of that, right? We can see that without men, period, there will be no females to ever exist on the earth, just on principle, right? That we see that the Most High God and what he said in Genesis, it is the real deal thing. It's the real thing. Right. That women really did come from men.
Yeah.
Go ahead, up.
And just to go on a little further, so when you look at the chromosomes, I love biology. I love science in high school, college, and everything. When you study the chromosomes, the men are the only ones that has the XY chromosome. And XY chromosome are the only chromosomes together that can produce or that can seed male or female. A woman only has one type of chromosome. All right. And that chromosome does not determine the sex of the child at all. Only the man's chromosome, the XY chromosome, determines that sex of the child. All right. I know some of y'all know that, but if you really want to just get into the weeds, and I would highly encourage you to even challenge that and study that for yourselves, because it's interesting, because that tells you the power of the man, how Most High gave man the authority. Right? So everything is backwards now. Like the heathens, they've turned everything as a 360 now. It's like, the men are subservient and the women are the heads now. I mean, that's in society what the heathens are pushing out.
That's right.
It's just straight up backwards and it's straight up folly.
It's really lust.
Go ahead. Yeah, something.
God, I was just saying, it's just really lust has caused the fall of man to be to that nature, especially in America, where you have scantily clad women on every single thing. We got the rise of OnlyFans. We have the rise of just whores, harlots, harlotry, effeminate men being raised up by women. It's impossible for like Brother Daniel always says, it's impossible for a woman to raise a man. Why? Because she can't even create a man. She can't even create herself. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't have the determining factor to even create another her. Right. So, I mean, so you see this like foolishness on TikTok or YouTube, these shorts of women saying that, we don't need men. We don't need men. We can do this and do this on our own. But I'm like, well, but of course you do. Your very existence predicates on men. Right. For all of us. Right. So as we see, as the world has become confused in a way, right, and the world has become taken in with wickedness, that we're slowly seeing the downfall, right? There is nothing but downfall is going to happen, because we see nothing is according to the will of the Most High God, right? Whenever things are not according to the will of the Most High God, that means that Most High God tells you to do things to prevent you from failure, right? To prevent you from destruction, right? To prevent you from being a reprobate mind, so forth and so on. These are the things why the holy law and the actions, right, and the lessons that are in the scriptures, why they exist, right? God gives us examples of why we shouldn't do this, like plenty of examples on every aspect. We're like, okay, I see, God tells me why I shouldn't serve false gods, right? We see people start serving false gods in the scriptures, and what happens to them, right? All kinds of wickedness, man. You end up dead, pretty much. Right? You know what I'm saying? For the most part, you're super unlucky and you end up dead. That's the bottom line of the situation, right? And it's not that it's happening by accident. You know, God is doing it to you because he don't want you, you know, celebrating no false gods. That's just what it is. I mean, like he made us. He made everyone. Even when Hamashiach comes back during the 1,000-year reign, right? Everybody is going to be worshiping the Most High God. They're not going to be having no Buddha. They're not going to have Zeus and all this other folly. It's not going to be that. It says that the law will go forth from Zion. That means every man, woman, and child on the earth, from Asian to African, is going to obey or die. Right? So we got to realize, man, how serious this is.
Yeah. And you know, everything that the Almighty has given us was for the better of for the good. Nothing He's ever asked us to do was difficult or hard. All right, we can see that we can see that depicted in Deuteronomy 28. What happens if you keep the laws, the blessings? All right, it's just so simple. And again, you know, me and my brother, we go over this a lot, and it just blows our mind how if our people truly knew who they were, for one of all, and with the power of the law, you know, it's like our people would just walk away in shame, because it's like we could have had a wealth of knowledge, and all this could have been ours. All right. And verse 5 of Deuteronomy 24, it says, when a man had taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife which he had taken. Man, we had an awesome system in place. You know what I'm saying? Because this would give the brother time, you know, to get to know his wife and everything. Have get a baby out of two, and
bond. Yeah,
what's that?
A nice bonding session.
Yeah, nice
bonding session.
Exactly. You build that. You build that relationship. You know, it wasn't all, you know, man. You know, you look at the way Solomon talked and everything. You know, it was a blessing.
It's
to have a wife and be married.
Women need attention, right? And the Most High knows this. Hey, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
We know that women, they require attention, which is why they wear the scantiliest clad outfits, and why they wear the skin tight booty shorts and stuff like this, because they require some type of attention, right?
Yep.
It's just the way they're made, right? There's
and
nothing
it's just
negative about it.
Yeah, it's just nowadays it's attention in the wrong light, in a very wicked light, and it's producing more of the same stuff.
Which is why the Most High says that we have a free year at home with them to cheer up the wife, because what? That's giving them, you know, the attention that they need for a year straight. Imagine that. You're not charged with no business. You don't got to go to work. You don't do nothing. You're just there, you know what I'm saying, chilling up with your old lady, you know, doing your thing.
Yeah.
Right? Getting that bond, right? And then for her to also understand that, hey, when this time is over, you know, I'm about to go ahead and finish, you know, we're going to go ahead and get this bread up. So we then, you know, so when we're old in our age during the golden years, you know, we can, you know, just live it up and, you know, keep the commandments in peace.
Yeah. It says, no man shall take the nether or upper millstone to pledge, for he taketh a man's life to pledge. Verse 7, if a man be found stealing any of his brethren, of his children of Israel, and maketh merchandise of him, or selleth him, then that thief shall die, and thou shalt put evil away from among you. Now, if this would have happened, now if this law was in place when who was it that when they sold Joseph?
Yeah,
slavery,
Joseph.
You're not supposed to sell none of your people.
That's why this law is put in spot. That's why this law is probably put into place, because of what happened to Joseph.
Exactly. All right. It says, take heed in the plague of leprosy, that thou observe diligently, and do according to all that the priest and the Levite shall teach you, as I command them. So shall ye observe to do. All right. Now, this gets more into the place. I just wanted to cover the marriage part, since we're doing the marriage parts.
Okay,
All right, because I think this goes into this goes into other stuff. But there's other, you know, there's other marriages. Probably we'll let Brother Aton bring some stuff out if he has anything.
man. We'll go to I just want to deal with Sirach 36 real quick.
Yep, bring it up.
All right, we're gonna go to Sirach 36, right? Right, because marriage is like what we don't understand, right, is that, you know, when you get married, right, it's on you if you decide to marry a person that you cannot trust, right? That's your fault, right? If you, you know, if you marry somebody, if you laying down with somebody you don't trust, right, or a situation where you don't, hey, that's you know, that's foolishness, folly, and stupidity, right? It says, "He that giveth the wife the beginning a possession," which means that what? That the man, he has ownership over you, no matter what the heathen tell you in this civilization that, you know, oh, no, it sounds wrong for you to own another person. No, that's not how it is, right? You know, I have some level, I have the authority position in the relationship to make sure that we're going where we're going and we're going to get there, right? I can't have you out here doing whatever, like, you belong to me. You don't belong to anyone else. You belong to me, right? You know, you do what I ask, you know, righteously, of course, right? Because I'm not going to have you doing anything wicked. But this is what it comes time to when women, when they, their fathers are supposed to be in the home to help them choose a righteous mate, right? A man, he knows the wiles and the tricks of another man, right? He knows the tricks and the wiles of another man, right? So when my daughter becomes of age and I, you know, keep her in straightly, right, and I have a, you know, a good rapport with, you know, with my daughter, Lord willing, that it keeps up and she doesn't become poisoned with this, you know, heathen stuff. Yeah, because you never know. You know, you can just only do the best you can, right? That I pray that she understands that, you know, any man that comes, she's going to bring that man to me first. Let me interview him, see what time it is, you know, bring the unks around, my brother and you know, brother Daniel around, you know what I'm saying? You know, see how it is for him, you know what I'm saying? Check his temperature and make sure the brother's a righteous brother. Ain't gonna be no kissing, ain't no crazy stuff, right? He gonna understand the value of my daughter is high, right? And if you want to do anything like lay down with my daughter or something like that, you're gonna have to get married, right? My daughter's not gonna be out here giving anything up for free. That's just not how it's going down, right? You're not gonna defile my daughter and then make me look foolish in front of the Most High God because I know the commandments, right? It says, "He that giveth the wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. Where no hedge is, the possession is spoiled." Which means what, right? Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. And he that hath no wife will wander up and down mourning. So what? He that giveth the wife beginneth possession, which means what? You belong to the man. A help like unto himself, right? Your dream is whatever your husband's dream is. And you're a pillar of rest, not a pillar of stress, right? Where no hedge is, which means that if you're a woman out here, right, and you don't have a man, right, or if you're a woman that has laid with a man or whatnot, right, for because you misunderstood what marriage is and you don't have him, the possession is spoiled. There's no hedge. There's no man to protect you. That's why we have in two-parent households, you have a I think it's a 9 out of 1,000 adults. You might have it out of 9, you might have out of 1,000, 9 children will experience some kind of abduction scenario, right? This is in a 2-parent household. Out of 1,000, 9 parents will experience an abduction, right? A situation. But in a single parent household, you can double that times 9, and it's at 84, right? The number rises up to 84. 84 children out of 1,000 will experience a kidnapping situation, right? That's why it's important for us as a people to understand that 2 is better than 1. You cannot do it by yourself. Our people just cannot do it by itself, right? I'm gonna go to Matthew 19.
Yeah, Matthew 19 is going to bring out in reference to what we were reading in Deuteronomy chapter 24. I just want to bring that out so that we're on cue and you'll see the comparison and everything. And start from verse 4 if you want to, unless you want to start.
We start verse 4. Yeah, verse 4 is good. Okay. And he answered and said to them, "Have you not read?" Did you want to add anything to what I was saying earlier about Sirach 36?
No, I'm a comment. I'm just
Okay.
going to wait till you finish some of this because I do got some couple things I want to bring out.
Con. All right. It said, and he answered and said, have you not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? Right? Not he, him, they, them, she, him, all other crazy stuff. You're a man and a female. All this question that they have these days about how many genders are. There's only two.
That's right.
And he said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother. Which means what? You're only supposed to leave your father and mother. It doesn't make sense for you to leave your father and mother unless you're what? You're going to get married. Right? You need to be working. You need to be helping your father and mother. Right? These Mexicans and all these other nations, they do it. See how many people they have in the home? See how close-knit their families are? Man, in Israel, soon your ass get 18, man, your parents be trying to kick you out. Oh, yeah, you got to get your own spot. Oh, I'm tired of feeding selfishness, wickedness. Instead of trying to keep your children in there, raising them up, and y'all all work as a unit to cut down on the taxes and the tribulations of the oppressor. Instead, you want to kick your son out, and then you don't know what he's doing. He's out there. He may be out there struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, might be under bad influences. Next thing you know, this dude, he out there selling drugs or whatever it may be to try to make rent because you were too stupid and you didn't read the scriptures and you kicked your son out when he was 18. Or your daughter for that matter, right? Because she damn sure ain't supposed to leave the house until she's pregnant.
Exactly.
Imagine, man, you got a daughter out on her own with her own apartment. Hell no. I'm not even interested or even looking for no woman in that kind of situation. If I see any woman in she out living on her own, man, I don't want nothing to do with you. Because I know what happens when you're out on your own. The best of y'all, when she was left on her own for only a few minutes, messed around and killed everybody. Let a damn a serpent talk her into eating the dog. I mean, come on, man. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's crazy.
Hell no. You need to stay home with your father and your mother because what's the hedge? The hedge is your father. He's the one that's protecting you. So it says, and said, for this cause shall the man leave father and mother and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall become one flesh. Right? For wherefore there are no more twain but one flesh. Wherefore, therefore, God hath joined together, let no man put asunder. Which means that we see why has God joined them together, as we saw earlier, right? If a man, once you consummate the marriage, you got that sperm lodged in your brain forever. God has joined y'all together. Y'all have become one flesh. Not only that, when you have a child, that is what y'all have become one flesh.
And this is the part I wanted to comment on in reference to when you read Ecclesiastes. Okay, that I want you to realize how powerful verse 6 is. It says, "Wherefore they are no more twain." All right, two individuals, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder. Now, this last part right here is a doozy because this is what killed us. What happened when women decided that it started with the white women, where they wanted their own little independence. They wanted, we can do what a man can do. We want to be the head too. You know, why the man got to be the head? We want to be the head too. All of a sudden, you got the separation, the women's liberation movement. Then warfare. All right, well, you can't have a man in the house. You know, if you're gonna let uncle, if you're gonna let the government be your sugar daddy. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you money the more children you have. Let not man put asunder. What have we done? We've allowed man to come and to completely break up the whole Israelite family. See, y'all don't really, the bond between the Israelite man and a woman, the family is so strong that it shines a light so bright that the heathens cannot stand it. You ever notice that even when you walk in, I've observed this all the time, when you see Israelite couples that are literally together with their children and they walk to any place, you notice the heathens will start staring. The heathens will start staring. They have this look on their face like fear, like they don't want to see that. But yet they love to see our sisters shaking their asses, twerking, got all these damn babies with them, walking somewhere, no man in sight. They love seeing the Pookies and the Ray Rays going out doing their thing and everything. Oh, they love that stuff. You know, but this is the power of it, and this is what the Most High really wants us to see. And we got a taste of this. Many of us wasn't alive in the 50s, but we saw this in the 50s. Many of our people, marriage rate was over 95%. Marriage rate over that. It's probably damn nearly at 100 within our community. You can leave, not have to worry about locking your doors. You better not have some girl going out there trying to twerk in the middle of the streets. They would have got their butts tore up.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't plan them old heads wasn't playing that back then. But over time we lost our way. We lost our morals. We was talking about reprobate minds last night. Our people wanted to be like the heathens. That's why it says, envy not the oppressor. And Proverbs 3:31, envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. But what have we done? Once we start choosing the way of our enemies, then we become like our enemies. Now look at us. Like we're like the bottom of the bottom. Collectively, I'm talking about as far as wickedness and as far as marriages. You can't tell me, no one can tell me that we have a higher marriage rate than the other nations out there. We don't. We have the lowest. We had the highest back in the 50s, but we have the lowest now. It went from 95, over 95% to down almost in the 20s now.
That's right. That's where we're at. Yeah, 1 out of 4 black women get married.
That is phenomenal. It's scary though. It really is.
So we got 1 out of 4 black women get married, and then on top of that, we got an 80% divorce rate. Man, that's crazy. You know what I mean? That's just super wild. That's
mind-boggling, man. I mean, I can't even wrap my mind around it. Like,
you know how many people going to hell? I mean, like, just think about it. Like all these, all these sisters out here that have divorced their man, now they with somebody else, right? And then that man not even understanding that he being with a woman that was married to another that woman was being to another man. Now he's an adulterer, right? He's gonna die too, right? I mean, like a lot of people are going to the lake of fire. Plenty of people are going to hell first, right? A lot of folks are headed straight for death and don't even understand it, right? You sleeping with baby mamas, nigga. You going to you dead. You an adulterer, right? You think it's cool to late night creep and all of this stuff with women that have babies by other men and women that have been married by other men, and they have decided that they look up and they want to see something better. They think that the grass is greener on the other side, and they want to do things like this. Don't even know that they're headed straight to the lake of fire. Don't pass go. You don't collect $200. You're going straight to jail. I mean, like, for what? I mean, like, seriously, for what? Like, none of this stuff you can take with you when you go. The scripture said you came in the world naked, into the grave naked, said you return. What does that mean? All the stuff that you heap up here and you think that's important, none of this stuff matters, right? But what's in the scriptures and what comes after this. Man, you think God just give you a life just to live 80-something years just to do what the hell you want? Yeah. I'm going to give you this body. I'm going to put forth the effort to give you energy so you can live 80 years of straight wickedness of pissing me the hell off. And you think God's not going to do nothing to you? Come on, man. I mean, like, you got to be stupid to believe that. You think that we can just do what the hell we want? Yeah. I'm going to be just, I'm going to go ahead. I'm gonna have sex with as many women as I want, or the sisters be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just hop from brother to brother, whoever had the fattest bag, right? Come on, man, look at what's going on right now, right? Man, you willing to, the scriptures say that your life shall be in a balance in the curses, right? That means that daily you don't know when you're gonna die. You could die any day. Yep. Any day on some random folly that the heathen decides to trump up, right? Let's say, for example, that dude, the I can't breathe dude, right? Well, what's his name? George Floyd, right? I bet you he woke up in the morning, he didn't think he was gonna die. You know what I'm saying? I bet you $100. Well, I know for a fact that he didn't think that he was going to die when he woke up that morning. But guess what? He was soaked in wickedness. Abominable, about to marry a heathen woman, right? Most High shut him down. shut him down. That could be each and every one of us. You don't know when the Most High is going to get sick of your stuff. You don't know when.
Everybody has a time clock.
Con.
We
That's
just,
why
we,
it
just, we,
behooves
just,
you.
we just don't know when that is.
Con. That's why it behooves you to be righteous all day, every day. You know, just like the parable of Hamashiach says that, you know, about the man watching the house, because, you know, about the thief watching the house, so the strong man comes in and binds you. We don't. That's because you're not paying attention. You're supposed to be on guard all the time by keeping the commandments. So you don't know whenever your time is up, man, you can go to the Most High blameless. Yes, Lord, I was doing it. I was righteous. Yep, that wasn't me, Lord. No, sir. I wasn't out there, you know, sexing down all the women. No, that wasn't me, Lord. Yes, you see the account. Yep. Or if that was you in the past, you would repent it, right? And you truly turned away from that. You're not doing that anymore. It's just the same thing for you. If you was a harlot, whore, strumpet in the street, right? If you turn from your ways, which means not getting another man, you have to be by yourself, right? Keeping the commandments of the Most High God, right? And so then when it comes time for the Most High to come back and stick in the stick in the sickle to reap, because it's gonna come time to reap. The righteous and the wicked is gonna get destroyed. They're gonna be what? Burned for stubble, the scripture says. You don't want to be something like, you don't want to be walking around the earth, right? The Most High said He's gonna raise you up to contempt. It ain't like you're gonna be able to get away. You're gonna do all that wickedness and then you're gonna die, boom, go down to the spirit world, right? Experience hell, right? Get you know what I'm saying? Hey, right? Experience hell all that time, and then not only that, like this the kind of God you got. God said you can experience hell that whole time, and then guess what? When it's time for judgment, I'm gonna raise your wicked ass back up. Boom. Put you in front of everybody. Boom. So everybody can look and see what type of person you is. And then on top of that, I'm gonna go ahead then throw your ass into the lake of fire. Man, that's shot down on every level. That's crazy on every level. That's like the super embarrassment right before you get destroyed. And you know you're gonna be scared as hell. The scriptures say that the sky is going to part back like a scroll, right? That means the firmament is going to peel back like a scroll. And you think that the people looking up and they see the black sky and they think it's space, right? Just imagine that just parting, and all of a sudden you see a big old face of the Most High God sitting on the throne. Come on, man. You know there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do, right? There's no rock you can hide under. Judgment time is at hand. You was already suffering in hell. Now you're going to get raised up in front of everybody and get embarrassed even more. I mean, we got to repent. I mean, like, do y'all believe? Because if you truly believe in the Most High God, y'all wouldn't be doing what y'all be doing, right? Our nation would not be doing what we're doing. They profess to know God with their hearts, but in their works, they deny Him. Brother?
Nope, we'll continue reading for Matthew.
God.
All right, so go ahead and get, well, we got 6 already. You want to go ahead and get 7 and 8?
God. It says, you want me to read it or you want to go?
I'll read it. It says, they say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? Now, remember, we read in Deuteronomy 24, all right, when we were, they were talking about, because Moses, Moses has some serious patience to deal with the children of Israel, because there's been several times where they wanted to stone Moses. And, Moses having to be patient and work with them and everything. And he goes on to say in verse 8, he said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your heart, suffered you to put away your wives. But from the beginning, it was not so. All right. So we read that was not the way it was supposed to be. All right. Couldn't just put away your wife just for any little thing. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, commit adultery. And whoso marrieth her which is put away doth commit adultery. All right. So again, woman, you only are assigned to one man. All right. That's going to lead up to other stuff, but you're only assigned to one man. Now, you can't say that a man is cheap, because It's not against the law for a man to have more than one wife, unless you claim, yourself to be a bishop or a deacon. All right. It was common back then in those days. All right. But then there was law stipulation against that as well, too, for that, to have more than one wife. But it was necessary at times, especially if the woman was going through whatever her menstrual cycle and she was unclean for so many days, the other wife can perform the duties. All right.
So that's essentially, you're really unclean 2 weeks out of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Every woman is technically, you're unclean for 7 days. When you're on the situation, right, on your flower period, and then you're not supposed to lay with your wife 7 days. You gotta wait 7 days after she comes off of her flower, right? After the flower is over, you got to wait 7 days as a man before you come out with her. So essentially, 2 weeks out of the month, your wife is inaccessible for sexual things.
Yeah, and that was one of the reasons, and that was the reason why it was allowed for a man to have more than one wife, because if that one woman was unclean for 2 weeks, whatever, the other wife can perform the duties.
Unless you're a priest or a bishop, far as like Brother Daniel in my case, right, we will not be allowed to have more than one wife, right?
Exactly. All right. Let's see here. And now verse 10 says, his disciples say unto him, if the case of the man be so with his wife, is it not good to marry? But he said unto them, all men cannot receive the same, save they whom it is given. I'm going to scroll up. Can you scroll that up? Oh, here you
go. There we go.
Verse 12 says, for there are some eunuchs, which eunuchs are those mostly that were not married at all. They were like the male virgins. Well, there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb, and there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men. And there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it. You want to anything you want to comment on that?
Well, okay, right. It says, John, just like Brother Daniel was saying, right? You got some eunuchs, some dudes that have abstinence sex. Abstinence means like, they're not fornicating, they're not dealing with women at all. Then you have some that are made eunuchs of men. We know that, sometimes like back in the old days, not talking about our people, but some of them you'll get your thing chopped off if you're like a king's guard that guards guard the queen or something like that. Saying back in those days, not during our kingdom, because we didn't have queens unless there was the mothers of the mothers of the king were considered queens, not the wives. Right? It was the mothers of the kings that was considered the queens, but they didn't have any ruling authority or anything of that nature. Right. But
and remember, and just so you clear, within Israel, even though it was a eunuch, they did not get their privates cut off, because as the law, you could not that you cannot, it's against the law to have your private cut off.
That's right. That's Deuteronomy 23.
Yep.
Right. And it says, and there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom's sake, which means what? You're a brother that is practicing abstinence.
Exactly.
Right. You're not out here doing anything, right, for the kingdom, because you know that what? Fornication leads to death. All right. He's able to receive it. Let him receive it. All right. Slaka, go ahead, Op.
Okay. No, that's it. I think that stops right there as far as the marriage portion.
Oh, con.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wanted to bring that out. And again, Israel, we know that, especially today, and I know it talks about this in Corinthians, and brother, if you want to bring that out too. The only thing that sister you can do if a man is being abusive, because I know that's going to come up sometimes, or what if the man is abusive? What if he's abusing me and things like that? All right, the scripture says that you can separate. You can separate, but you just can't divorce that man. All right.
Let me,
and I know that are you bringing that up? I know that can be a hard pill to swallow sometimes, for our people. But again, it's for your own protection, because when I'm gonna show you something right quick. before.
Matter of fact, man, we can read the whole doggone thing.
Which one you want to read?
Yeah, we can read. We can start at verse 1 and then read all the way down.
That's fine. That's fine. And then I want to show you something. After you read all that, I'm gonna show them something in Ecclesiastes 23. So,
Con.
All right.
Okay, Con.
What is it? You want to take the first set, and then I'll go with the last?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so as we're still on our relationships and divorce, right? Marriage, right? But before I get on this, no, we're not supposed to have boyfriends and girlfriends and things of that nature, right? There's no sex before marriage. Now, if it is quote unquote, it's not a girlfriend, she's like a fiance. You're courting her for marriage, right? You're not, you don't test the milk before you buy the cow. That's not how it goes, right? That's just not how it goes, right? There are no relationships like that. There are no situationships. No, any things of this new wicked age. You got to cut that stuff off, right? It says if you're not married, right, you're not having sex. That's just what it's supposed to be, right? And it says, now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, right? And let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband, right? So, give it, treat each other like like you want to be treated, in other words, right? You know what I'm saying? Don't if your husband needs encouragement, because of this is that is whatever, do it, right? If your wife needs encouragement because, she might be having a hard time with the kids while you're at work, and you might need to help out a little bit more, empty more trash, do whatever, right? Hey, give your wife her due benevolence, right? Don't be an asshole, a slacker, don't be a jerk. Right, it says, and likewise also the wife unto the husband, same thing, right? Fix him a sandwich, right? Hey, don't act crazy, right? The wife has not power over her own body, but the husband, right? So it means that's not your own body, right? You're the husband, now he owns it too. So if he tells you to go left and you want to go right, you better go left because he probably knows better than you do about the situation, right? And likewise also the husband hath not power over his own body, but the wife. Right, which means what also, right? Hey, if the wife requires you to protect her because of the situation is going down, hey, brother, that's you. You got to get out there and get that, right? You got to protect your family. You got to do what your wife requires of you.
That's right.
Right? Defraud ye not one another, except to be in consent for a time, that ye may not be your fasting and prayer. And also that comes down to sex as well, right? If your husband wants some, go ahead and give it to him. Right, if your wife wants some, right, go ahead and give it to her. It ain't no, right? No's, right, and coldness in the bedroom. That is something that allows Satan to get in there, right, and let harlots and strumpets, ended up coming into your relationship. Tank Top Tommy, Raw Dog Raheem, he's sneaking in through the back door, right, because you don't want to keep each other content in that particular area. So verse 5 it says, defraud not. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer and come together again, right? That Satan tempt you not in your inconsistency, right? Which means that what? All right, you don't want to say, just like I was saying before, right? Now, if you do, depart, y'all decide y'all not gonna have sex or whatever, it should be for a time for y'all are being serious about God. Y'all want to be serious about the Most High. Something's going down. Y'all might be fighting some kind of unclean spirits. So therefore, or right, just be closer to God. Y'all out there fasting and praying, right? And then that doing a fasting and praying, why would you not be having sex? Because what? Sex makes you what? Unclean for a while, for the day. You get the woman gets seed spilled on her, or you, same thing, right? You're gonna be unclean until the evening. It says, but I speak this by permission and not by commandment, right? But I would that all men were even as myself, but every man hath the proper gift of God, one after another, and one after that. I say to the unmarried and the widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I, right? But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn, right? So in other words, he's saying that on his, this is not a commandment, right? But I wish that all y'all would be like me, right?
Exactly.
Y'all be able to not be in a relationship, and y'all be able to keep the commandments and be holy, right? You know what I'm saying? Because we see that, you know, sex is really messing us up as a community. So I'd rather y'all, you know, the women stay virgins and the men stay eunuchs, right? But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it's better to marry than to burn, right? What does that mean? Fornication leads to the lake of fire.
Yep.
That's what it means, right? And unto the married, I command, yet not, right? So he's not the one that's saying this commandment, but the Lord. The Lord is the one that's commanding this, right? This is the commandment, straight out of the commandments from the scriptures. Let not the wife depart from her husband.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can go to the courthouse and file the 80% at an 80% rate and divorce your man. No, what does God say? Let not the wife depart from her husband. Why does God always say the wife depart? Because he know what time it is. Even today is always the woman that's leaving, right? Because you think that you're something more than you really are. I hate to say that because the heathen has boosted your head up for that. To believe that, you know, everyone is just as equal. Right? Everybody has, you know, I have goals and aspirations. No, that's not what the Bible says. All right. Your goals and aspirations should be that of your man. That's what you're made to be, to help me. All right. It says, but if she depart, let her remain. But if she depart, right? So let's say, you know, the Lord say, don't do it. Right. You damn sure can't file no divorce. And you damn sure not supposed to leave your husband. But if you do, right, if you just, you know, let's say, for example, you got a wicked husband and he whooping your ass, right? Or you know, you got a husband that, you know, he just constantly out there. He's a serial fornicator, right? You know, he just, you know what I'm saying? He's doing stuff that's very unsafe for you, right? You have to depart. And if she depart, right, for reasonable reasons, right, let her remain unmarried, right? That means what? You cannot marry the next man. You can't be, texting Tyrone on IG, right? You can't be entertaining any messages from any man or anything of that nature, right? Or be reconciled to her husband, right? Which means what? The only thing that you can do is just, you know, chill out until the situation calms down and boils over. And then if you do want another man, right, you got to go back to your husband. There ain't no another man for you on the earth at all, unless he dies, right? That's the only way that you can get another man, if he has to die. And I don't mean, you know, come up with no kind of a wicked scheme to kill him either, right? Right. But it says, but to the rest speak I, not the Lord, right? So, you know, and this is Paul's own mind right here. He says, if any brother hath a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. Right. Oh, Salaki, I didn't read the last part. Salaki Israel. I'm sorry, sisters. Right. And let not the husband put away his wife. Right. So that means it don't matter how loud a mouth she got. Right. Yep. You know, how wicked that she treats you. Right. Or nothing like that. You cannot put her away for the sake or fornication, as we saw in Matthew. Right, that's the only way.
Yeah.
Now, she go out and
this is what we cancel on all the time, especially IUIC. They notorious for doing that stuff.
That's right.
You know, a woman will start questioning the man, and then they'll get mad, and then they'll divorce him. You can't do that.
That's right. You cannot do that. Not at all. You got to keep your old lady, no matter what. All right. Well, now I'm gonna say no matter what, unless she goes out and defiles herself with another man, because as we read earlier in the Levitical law, and in Deuteronomy, that the man cannot receive the wife again after she's laid with another. That's going to be defiled, and you're going to defile yourself, and it's abomination. Right. And it says, and the woman, I'm sorry, verse 12, Slock, and I read 13, and yeah, I'll read 13 to 15, and then we'll go back to the Sirach. It says, but to the rest, to the rest speak I, not the Lord, which means this is Paul's own mind. If any brother hath a wife that believeth not, and she pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. Right. So you can have a sister, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, you can have a wife, and you know, she might not believe, right? She might not believe in the scriptures, or she might not keep the commandments or whatever, right? But if she pleases to deal with him, you know what I'm saying, but she wants to stay, whatever. Hey, you know, you can't put her away, right? That's what he's saying. Now, however, now we know this does not account to fornication. But we've already said that this is in red letters, and you can't go against that because that's coming straight from the top, right? Straight from the Father, Yahweh. And the woman which hath the husband, which believeth not, if she please to dwell with her, let her not leave him. So if you got a husband that don't keep the commandments, but you keep the commandments, if you please to dwell with him, hey, you're okay to dwell with him. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else your children unclean, and now they are unholy, right? So if you're doing something wicked, you're doing whatever, you're having a child outside of wedlock or whatever the case may be, now you would make the children unholy. But if you're doing it inside wedlock, right, well, like it's supposed to be, your children are not holy, which means separate, right? Done the right way. But in the unbelieving depart, let him depart, right? A brother or sister is not under bondage in some cases, but God hath called us to peace, right? As we saw earlier when we said, let not the wife depart from her husband, but if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, put away. Now, these things, right, these things are serious, right? We got to just, this is Paul's own mind that I have in brown or orange or whatever you see on your screen. But the red and the purple here, these are the absolute commandments that we have from the Most High God that we must carry, right? Let's go to Sirach. What you want to go to, brother? Sirach.
I got it.
Yes. Oh, you got it? Okay, Con.
Yeah. I like reading this one in the Sefer because it really brings it out.
Con.
So, when me and Brother Eitan, like, especially when we deal with sisters who, especially come into the faith and you have kids by another man, and let's just say you just have, let's say you have the two kids by the same man, all right? We're not going to even go into the multiple kids with baby daddies because that's even worse. But let's say you have a couple of kids by the same man, but you never married. You lay down with him, and you may be asking, well, I repented and everything. Can I go and now marry a man? Absolutely not. Why? Because the man that you had the children with is considered your husband, and that's the only choice that you have, unless that man has died. All right. So let's look at Ecclesiastes 23, and we'll start with verse 22. It says, "Thus shall it go also with the woman that leaves her man and brings in an heir by another." All right. Simple, right? A woman who leaves her man or divorces him or whatever. All right. Or not even married, just goes on to another man. It says, for first, she has disobeyed the Torah of El Elyon, and secondly, she has trespassed against her own man. All right. Man that she was firstly married to or with. And thirdly, she has played the whore in breaking wedlock. All right. And brought children by another man. Now, what do we see today? What are we constantly seeing today right now in our communities? We're seeing sisters, we're seeing all these babies being born to unwed mothers, all right? By multiple dudes, not just by one dude, but by multiple dudes. It's so average and common for a sister that you see anywhere out, they at least got at least 2 or 3 babies by different dudes. That is so common. Like you can't count that on your fingers. It's so many that you can't even count it. And I guarantee you it's greater than 144,000. Guaranteed you. The numbers are in the millions. All right. Verse 24, it says, "She shall be brought out into the assembly and inquisition shall be made of her children. Her children shall not take root, and her branches shall bring forth no fruit." See, that's serious. There's something about that because, like, when you have children born into that kind of abomination and everything, stuff doesn't go right. It's like it's just not natural. She shall leave her memory to be cursed, and her reproach shall not be blotted out. And it talks about this again in Isaiah 4:1. When the time comes, Mashiach comes out, these sisters are going to be clinging to men because they need to have their reproach removed. The reproach shall not be blotted out, and they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than the fear of Yahweh, and that there is nothing sweeter than to take heed unto the commandments of Yahweh. All right. So repent, sister, just means that it doesn't mean that you just repent and then you go back out and do what you want to do and get with all these other dudes. It just means stop doing what you're doing. It's like somebody gets a tattoo or something like that. Just don't get no more. That's repentance. Remember when the Most High said he repented that he destroyed the earth by a flood, just means that he's not going to destroy the earth by a flood anymore. That's what repent means. It just means complete turn away. Don't continue in that. But too many of our people, they ignore that warning and they'll continue to go out and look for men. And his brother Aton showed that video clip. You know, the problem is when you have these brothers, all these brothers going into you like that, you're planting that DNA from that brother is going in, and you got like 50 dudes you don't went through, and all that DNA is in you. And you wonder why you can't even think straight. You know? It really is. It's a really, you know, we're like in a really, I mean, just messed up, crazy, wicked situation. And it's so bad that it's going to take the process to fulfill itself out. What I mean by that, I was saying that I always say, you know, let them bleed out. Unfortunately, those types are going to have to bleed out. The wicked are going to have to bleed out. I mean, what else? I mean, the damage is so far reversible that, you know how you get it. Sometimes you get like a crazy wound or something like that, and sometimes if it's infected, you have to let it bleed out. And that's the way our people are. The Most High is going to have to let all the wicked just bleed out.
I want to get that.
We get it, and then we stop and we reverse this thing.
Matthew 22. I want to get the parable in Matthew 22 to prove even. Yeah. So, like, it's children are serious, right? Children are extremely serious in, you know, parenting them, right? And align with one another. Sex is, and you know, I mean, like, relationships is a serious thing, right? If you look at it, man, you know, a lot of our people, man, we went into a lot of things as far as sexual, immorality, you know, having children, you know, sacrificing them, putting them over to Baal, you know, having, children by women of other nations, and just, since sex in itself, that causes a lot of situations, right? And you know, just a lot of wickedness. What did I say? Matthew 22. That's what I was going at. I think that's what it is. Let me see. All right, Khan. Right. And see, man, this is why we try to stick on this, because this is where the majority of, like, man, our relationship dynamics in our community is just destroyed. Like, we don't know what's going on, right? So it's important for you to really save yourself and not have children, not be laying down with any Tom, Dick, and Harry out here, because if you lay down with the brother, right, and you have children, that's your man, right? Let's just read this, right? This is even in the understanding of the scriptures back in the day, right? This is a parable, right? It says, saying, Master, right? Matthew 22 is going to start at 24. Saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. All right. Now there with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he hath married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Right. So now the first man, he had a wife, lay with her, whatever, boom, he died. Right. Notice now, because the Sadducees, when they're giving them this, they're keeping them to the law, which means that what? The woman can't marry again unless the current husband is dead, right? And if she does marry again, most likely it's supposed to be the brother, right? So you can carry on the name and with the same genetics, right? That's why it's supposed to be the brother, right? So it says, likewise, the second also, and the third until the 7th. And the last of all the women died also, right? Therefore, right, I want to listen to the question, right? Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the 7? For they all had her. Right? Now, notice what was the stipulation. Verse 24. Saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. Which means that what? If she had a child, right? If she had a child, is the brother supposed to marry her then and raise up seed? No, because he's already done his job. The next one of him of that generation has already been produced, right? That's his wife. There is no marrying and then producing more seed from that same womb. You understand? Like, even if you have children, you know what I'm saying, and you know, if you have children from that man, and you like, you'll never look in the scriptures and find anything of righteousness when you have one brother marrying a woman that has children already and they're married to another husband. These are things when, right, you're allowed to marry other when you don't have children already. Once the deed is done, boom, right? And then you've already made an heir to your particular generation when the man and the woman have become one, like we read in Matthew, right? You've already have produced an heir.
That's right.
That's it. That's why we have widows, right? And that's why the scripture says that we're supposed to take care of the widows, of women that have had husbands that are died, but they had children. You're supposed to take care of them. You're supposed to help them out, right? Because those are the righteous of our people. Those are the righteous women of our people, right? Now it says the reason why I wanted to bring this out is that I was showing if you had a child by a particular man, you can't go to the next man. You can't have seeds from him either, right? That's it. That's your lot. That's you. Period. That's your that's it. You're finished.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The scripture even goes to say what Brother Daniel brought out earlier. Right. Let me put this back on the screen. Salakia. It says, as for the children of those who break wedlock.
Well, that's not the one. You want to go back to Ecclesiastes? I was going to bring this out afterwards. The one I had was in Ecclesiastes. You want to go back to that one?
Yeah, Con, but you know, this is the same thing. Yeah, Con. We'll go back to Ecclesiastes. Yeah, do that.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going to bring something out after you got done reading that one.
Con.
All right. Okay.
Right. It says you can't bring in an heir by another. Right. It says that if you bring out an heir by another, if you get married again or whatever the case may be, and you bring in an heir by another, what happens? She should be brought out to the assembly, and inquisition shall be made of her children. Her children shall not take root, and her branches shall not bring forth no fruit. She shall leave her memory to be cursed, and the reproach shall not be blotted out. That's a reproach shall not. That means that's sort of like an unforgivable sin, right? That's something you can't take back. You done made children with someone that is outside of the original maker of children that was to you. That's something that's foreign. Once you've already been joined together with one man, that's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you have children, y'all become one flesh. You can't go anywhere. That's
right.
That's all it is. Those children that you have after that.
You know, it's amazing how we are on the same spirit on that, because
I'm not even going to say that. Y'all gotta. That's Israel. Come on, man.
What I was going to comment on, yeah. So here, here's the result of that is that the scriptures are very, very, very clear. All right, Song of Wisdom of Solomon. All right, chapter 3 and verse 16. It says, "As for the children of those who break wedlock, 77.6% of black babies born are born to unwed mothers. As for the children of those who break wedlock, they shall not come to their perfection." Man. "And the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out." I mean, that's serious. And you wonder why there's so many of our people, when they're growing up, they're getting into gangs, or they get into all kinds of different crimes and all kinds of stuff. With no father in a home, how can they be rooted in? How can they continue to stand? "And the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out. For though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded, and their last age shall be without honor."
Hey, think about it, right? All the I think it's 80 it's over 80% of inmates in prison from single mother homes.
Yeah,
right? These are child out of wedlock. The scriptures don't lie, right? And all the people that you see that come from single mother homes, they got something wrong with them. They're not, they struggling. They have lack of discipline, right? They bums. A lot of them are bums and effeminate. They have a lot of problems. Like, man, just look at the warehouse. We see what's going on. We see it. Stupid, right? We have the O'Reilly effect. They are proving it to be wrong, right? Children now are growing up dumber than they ever have before. Why? Right? This is an effect, right? We see the effect as things are starting to happen. Now, we already know that as we continue to grow in a generation that we're going to get slower, but damn, right? At this rate, it's unprecedented. This is because we lack discipline, we lack fathers in the home, and we lack the correct structure that the Most High has set up. So it's going to do nothing but fail, just like it says right here. You got, we have a lot of children that are that come from broken wedlock.
This should make chills go down your spines when you read this, because we're living this out today in real time.
God.
For they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded, and their last age shall be without honor. When a brother gets shut down in the street, nobody cares about that brother. You got some gang member trying to smoke out another brother because over some stupid petty stuff. What happens when they go? This happens so many times. Nobody gives a damn about those kids. Nobody cares about that. They die without honor. Die in the streets. What a way to die. Die right there on the street. On some street corner. It says, or if they die quickly, they have no hope, neither comfort in that day of trial. For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation. Man.
Look, we know this unrighteous, man. There was a study saying that if the father turns to religion, right, 93% of the chance, 93% of the chance is that the whole home will turn to religion and follow whatever the father does. If the mother turned to religion, it was only 13%. A 13% chance that the rest of the family would turn into turn to the religion, which is a structure, right? A structure of morality. That's how powerful it is to be a father, right? Now listen to these damn heathen, and you have let them rob y'all of the power that the Most High God has put in the home for y'all. Without the hedge, right, the possession is spoiled. Sirach 36, right? Without the hedge for protection, right, the possession is spoiled. We have so many women out here, and what are they? Saying, what's the main thing you hear black women complaining about? Oh, black women are unprotected. Black women are unprotected. Black women are unprotected. I don't want to hear that. You unprotected because you don't have a hedge. Because you push your legs wide open for Pookie and Ray Ray, and y'all don't require marriage because you're stupid. You're slow in intellect. Any person that has any common sense will realize that I'm not going to give away myself for free. Right? Give away myself for somebody that is not going to take responsibility. Right? And taking care of me for my life is not going to take me as a possession. I mean, like, do you really want that? Do you really truly want to give yourself away to a person that thinks so less of you is that they would never want to take you on as a possession for their life? Take you on as a helpmeet, a pillar of rest? They don't view you that way. They view you as something to be discarded. Is that what you want? Is that the way that we're going to form our relationships? No, right? Because what's that do, right? Not only does that poison the dynamics between relationships, because then it makes the expectation of the man wicked, folly, right? His expectations is rooted in wickedness and folly, right? Because his expectations is not that to respect a woman, because y'all are not requiring respect. If you require respect, then you get respect. But if you require it, but if you want to, everything's for everybody. I don't want to, my man can't tell me how to dress. I can just do what I want. I can wear booty shorts out there, showing cheeks to, little kids and stuff in the store when you're walking around, right? Promoting all kind of wickedness. Y'all don't care. Right? And then y'all expect that when y'all get into a relationship, the dude to take y'all serious. Man, that's not gonna happen, right? I hear some a joke all the time that David Chappelle says, you know, when he says about you know, when women be complaining about you know, how men come at them when they're dressed like whores, right? And then he equates that to him being a police officer, you know, him dressing up like a police officer, and then someone running over there and asking him for help. Well, he's like, well, I'm not a police officer, you know, I'm just dressed like one. It's the same situation. That's why the scripture says what? Hey, modesty, wear modest apparel. Why? That way a man, when he looks at you, he's not immediately seeing how fat your cheeks are. Right?
Hey, let's look at Solomon. Let's look at Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 5. It says, "Then perfect branches shall be broken off, their fruit unprofitable, not right to eat, yea, meat for nothing. For children begotten of toilless beds are a witness of wickedness against their parents in their trial." You see what's going on? Look around you, what's going on right now. We see all these kids growing up effeminate. We see they have these womanly tendencies, and you see the homosexuality outbreak. It's just crazy. I call it an outbreak because it's just rampant in our community. "But though the righteous be preserved with death, yet shall he be in rest." So right here, for children begotten of toilless beds are a witness of wickedness against their parents in their trial. You know, we got these babies raising babies, and they're trying to be their friends, and next thing you know, they get older, they beating on the parents. You know, they had a thing in Jersey. It was somewhere, and they did a report. It was near Trenton or something like that. You know, Trenton is mostly a lot of our people, and they've been having. I mean, it's crazy. The kids are out of control, and it's all these kids from single parent homes. They just study, and you know they're turning on their parents, and like the scripture says, you know, they're turning on their parents, beating up their parents, all that kind of stuff. And these kids are wild. Y'all remember that thing that happened in Chicago some years ago, maybe a year ago, where all these teens, they broke loose and they started just mobbing everything. Majority, 90% of those kids, over 90% of those kids were from single parent homes. Just out of control kids. This is the witness. This is what this is talking about. Children of begotten toilless beds are witness of wickedness against their parents in their trials. Just like Brother Aton brought up, over 80% of black men in prison are from single parent homes. Wickedness against their parents in their trials. This is what you really realize. Is this what you want? You want that kind of lifestyle? Then this is the results you're going to get.
Yesterday, last night for the new moon lesson, Brother Daniel and I, we were going over reprobate mind, right? And you know how I can tie that into this lesson is that you know on the truth is the truth, right? We have, you know, we're fighting right now between between the genders, between of our people, right? You know, one person, they complain they don't want to submit to the other, and you know, this, that, and the third, right? But when you truly break it down, right? Let's just break it down, right? If the black man was so bad, right, we wouldn't be you know, damn near as equally sought out on the earth as the white man. That's just what it is, right? The top two nations of men across the earth that are sought out for relationships are black men and white men, right? This is a fact, right? The least sought after, right, race for women, the least sought after women on the earth are sisters, right? Why is that, right? So there has to come a time where you have to like stop pointing the finger at everybody else. There has to become a time where you have to stop pointing the finger at everybody else, and then you gotta get, you know, point the finger and be like, you know what, it really is me, right? You got to wonder, why is that like that, right? Why are so-called Asian women the most sought after women out of all the women on the earth, right? If you look at their personalities, right? If you look at their demeanor, right? You see that you know, they exude a lot of femininity, right? You know, they're not combative at all. They're soft to be around. You know, the things that it describes in the scriptures, for a woman to be. All right, they hard working, they do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, you look at these videos and you see when you know what's going on when these brothers come home to an Asian wife or whatever, man, they got everything. It ain't no problems. And, you know, so it's barely any issues. The situations come on, right? You know, these Asian men over there, you know, they barely have any issues with their old ladies, right? The marriage rate is super high over there. They have I think it's 90, I think it's close to 90%, right? They have a real low divorce rate. These are in all the Asian countries, right? In all the Asian countries, it's like that. Why? Right? This is why. Out of everyone, right? If anything, if we're supposed to be God's chosen people, it's not supposed to be the Asian women that's supposed to be on top. It's supposed to be our women, right? They're supposed to be right up there with us. Why you think that the rest of the women on the earth, man, they know that we the best thing smoking, right? We might not be the most financially sound as a group, right? Because we're so low in the population, and you know, we really can't. You know, it's a struggle against the system, right? That is created for them. But I'm not saying that you can't work hard to be like Brother Daniel and myself and work hard and, you know, have a little bit of something, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, be able to take care of a family or whatnot. That's possible, right? For every single brother on this earth, because the Most High has given you the spirit to succeed, right? No, I don't know what this clown is talking about. What are you talking about, brother?
Get you an Edomite.
Yeah. What you talking about right here? Hold on, I got it. You know what I'm saying? What you talking about? What you talking about, brother? The whole I don't know. Maybe that's a mistake.
Yeah,
But,
maybe I think that might be a joke. Maybe he's just
gotta be a
playing.
joke. Yeah, Khan. Yeah, right.
Good
But,
joke, brother.
yeah, Khan, right. But you absolutely cannot deal with any other nation of women. You got to deal with your own women, right? You got to take care of your own women, right? We got to show our own women the way, right? You know, we can't be dealing with the nations of the other women, because what they're going to do, they're going to dilute the blood, right? They're going to dilute our genetics, right? You know what I'm saying? We're great on our own. We don't need anybody else. That's why they're always concentrated and worrying about what Israel's doing. If we weren't so great, then guess what? They would have never tried to form the civil rights movement and try to keep us with them and working along with us, and they won't let us do nothing, right? So they know that we're great, right? They know that we're great. You have to know that you're great, right? You have to do the things that are greatness, right? You got to follow the leaders that the Most High has set forth before you. That be your husband, right? Men do the same thing. You're not supposed to be lusting after the flesh of the heathen, right? And disparaging your sisters, right? Sisters, let's get it together. Let's take them wigs and weaves off, and them long fingernails, them eyelashes, right? Them
as you like to say, get rid of the golden retriever hair.
we gotta get rid of all that, Israel. We got to come back. We got to come back. You know, hey, it's a fact that you read on every single survey, brothers, they hate that. They hate it, right? They hate it. They hate wigs. They hate weave. They want natural look. So just do the natural look, right? If you want to get a man, hey, man, you're not supposed to be worrying about what the heathen thinking. Worry about what your own brothers are thinking. And you got to think about it, right? If your brother would rather deal with you than any other nation, right? You got to, you have to, do what's being told. Y'all can't be the last. Y'all can't be on the bottom of the list, right? And then expect excellence. Y'all as a whole can't weigh 189 pounds, which is the same weight as a damn linebacker, and expect y'all to get, brother, you know what I'm saying? Like, who wants that? You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to have brother, you know what I'm saying? If y'all going to be out here and y'all want to get married, and y'all got to give brother something to work forward to, right? You know what I'm saying? A brother, if he sees that all the sisters are doing are beautiful, right? They are they're well kept, they're not being whores, right? They are, you know what I'm saying? They are just an excellent nature, right? That's going to encourage brothers to work hard. You're not going to get no Pookie and Ray Ray if you're a woman that is covering up, right? Wearing clothes that are akin to holiness, right? You're not a harlot, you're not a strumper, you're not out there. You still stay with your mom and dad. You don't got a foul mouth, right? You're demure, right? You're in shape. You're not no big old woman that's overweight, right? If you want that, you got to give. We got to give stuff for the brothers to try to strive for. That alone You know, just like back in the day when we was up like 80, 90% marriage. Hey, you didn't have no sorry sisters went out there marrying the sorry brothers. That's not how it went down. She was marrying the good brothers. Right? Brothers was working. Brothers was doing the things because guess what? Why was brothers back in the day so much more righteous, even though we was in slavery than we are now? Because you sisters weren't going for everything. Y'all were picking cotton and dresses, yo. Y'all niggas was picking cotton and dresses. And now all of a sudden you're living with the white man. Y'all don't want to do a damn thing, and y'all want to show butt cheeks on you know what I'm saying, in public. Y'all want to show breasts in public. Show your stomach in public. It's just a tons of wickedness all day, and then you expect brothers to want to not say nothing, want to accept you wearing wigs and weaves, looking like Becky, right? And then you know we're supposed to have it all great over here. How we
yeah, I know we kind of just talking, but hey, I want to answer this question real quick. Brother JP says, if I find a virgin and wanted to marry her, how could I do it without the government all up in my business? Well, first thing, brother, just to kind of give you, we are required to obey the laws of the land as long as it doesn't require us to disobey the commandments of the Most High. And the only reason why you would have to have something like, you can like do a court, something like most people do court weddings, which is really cheap and inexpensive. But like, in order for her to get on your benefits and things like that, according to, the heathens, that's the way they got the laws laid down and everything. But I understand what you're saying. What's done in heaven is constituted on earth. So just as far as the documentation piece goes, in order for your wife to get the benefits and everything from your job, she would need that. They would have, because heathens have to have everything in writing. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. Everything's always in writing in order to get some kind of benefit or the other.
If you're about to get married, and if you find a virgin you want to marry her, right? If you want to marry her, right, just do a prenup.
Yeah.
All right. And if you can't afford a prenup, then you don't need to be getting married.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That's just the bottom line, right? Do a prenup where, she gets nothing if she leaves. She should be leaving anyway, right? Because the scripture says that you ain't supposed to leave. No, that's what God said straight out of his mouth. That's the commandment, that she cannot leave you, right? Unless you're doing something crazy, right? But I know you, JP, you're a righteous brother. So, if you find you a virgin, you want to get married, go ahead and get a prenup. And it shouldn't be an issue because she's never going to leave anyway if you find another righteous sister as a virgin.
It's sad. It's sad you got to do that these days, but
right.
Because the courts are in favor of the women. So let's just keep it real.
Yeah, right. So just we got to move circumspect out here. You just got to move circumspect out here. You got to be careful. Like living in the land of the oppressor, you have to really use your mind, right? And that just pretty much just comes from studying the scriptures. When you study the scriptures, it'll give you wisdom. It'll give you that wisdom to be able to move and have you to understand the ways of the heathen, so that way you can navigate around it in righteousness, right? And not get trapped up with any wiles of the devil.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anybody have any relationship questions? Right. We will. We're about. So we can take questions. Right. Oh yeah, Con. I did hear that. Right. Evil. Yeah. Good hair and bad hair. Yeah, man. We got the good hair. You want that?
Is that documentary that Chris Rock was doing? Was that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, you want the good hair.
Bad hair? Is it called bad hair or good hair?
The movie is Bad Hair.
Bad hair. Okay.
Yeah, Con. Man, you want what we have is a non-ether. That's the good hair, right? It works as like that's why you could be outside and hot and not really have your brain overheat because your it's like coils, right? Yeah. Your hair is like coils and it absorbs the heat, and before it gets to your brain, it cools off the heat before it gets to your brain. Now, if you're out there wearing Becky's hair, right, that ain't gonna work for you.
It drops down.
That's right.
It's amazing how
scalp burning up your brain. It's probably why you can't think out there anyway.
Man, I wish people would go back to afros again, man. Like afros, I was growing up, man, that stuff was the bomb, man. Because like afros, it stands against gravity and everything, man. White folks hated that stuff because they couldn't have it. They were the only people that couldn't do that stuff, man. And their hair, it just droops down. That's how you know they're not natural. It just droops down like a golden retriever.
Gone. Yeah, we already know it's a that is a recessive gene. Straight hair is a recessive gene. I mean, like, just imagine, I hate myself so much that I would rather wear a recessive gene on my head. That's crazy, man. I can't.
Yeah, that's what you call mental illness.
God, you don't see brothers out here wishing to be white. Ain't no brother out here wishing to be right.
Yeah, I did a video on that about maybe a year ago about women copying the white women, and they looking up to the white woman because they have the hairs. Just like theirs. Every generation, the black woman always copied their hairs according to the white woman.
For what? You don't see brothers out here doing that. We ain't copying a white man on nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How they look. If anything, they're trying to copy our look. They want to, sag their pants and, talk all crazy and, you know what I'm saying, do all the things that we do.
And you see more white folks with cornrows now, trying to put cornrows in their hair.
That's the thing. That's why we need y'all to get with the program. We need y'all to get with, get on our team, get on our side, follow our example. Don't do your own damn thing. Your own damn thing, y'all failing miserably at it. Y'all destroying the community. Y'all niggas done killed 20 million of us already doing stupidness. Serious, man. It's just ridiculous. We already had to put up with women out doggone killing us from the beginning anyway. I only live 80 years. I don't get no spiritual body. I got to take poops. I got to pee. I get sick. My bones ache because I'm old. All kinds of stuff, man. So that's aggravating as hell just to think about that. You know what I mean? Now we got it in over here. We in the land of the oppressor, and then the doggone sisters, they can't get right. They think that, oh yeah, we don't want to listen to the man. We want to do us. We want to be wicked as hell. We want to, we want to pop pills, pop coochie, and do all kind of wickedness over here, man. We don't care about nobody, and we want to, so we want to raise all the men ourselves, and then we want to be emotional. I mean, it's just so much foolishness that it's no wonder that it's only 13% of us, but we on the damn TV every day. We're on TV every day doing something dumb, every day. How is so less of us and so many of us in prison? I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Man, we shouldn't be in prison. Y'all don't see us the plan. Y'all don't see these heathens are willingly working y'all and y'all just letting it happen. You know what I'm saying? The heathens are working y'all. Right? It's not getting to the men really, so they're getting it through y'all. Right? The heathens are purposely working y'all. Oh yeah, man, let's give her a hard time at the job. Let's say that she can't have her hair up or this, that, and the third. Man, we need y'all to, you know what I'm saying? But if y'all had a man in your life, you know what I'm saying, a husband, if y'all done bust your legs open, right, and then sleep with anybody, man, you think the people at the job be able to bully you about having your hair? No, you'll have a husband that'll be able to stand up for you because you was in righteousness and you was a virgin and you wasn't passed around. He'll be willing to put his life on the line. It wouldn't be a problem. But we don't have that, right? I ain't putting my life on the line for no harlot woman that's been with 10 dinglings. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to work hard all day for some woman that spread herself around to other brothers. It's just not like that. You're destroying the relationship value. Then you're raising up the sons to hate the fathers and the children hate the father. I mean, it's just doggone destruction. Like, how can y'all not see this? Just like when we were talking about yesterday about the reprobate mind, morally wicked, morally devoid of reason. What's going on? Like, how can we not see that the heathen is destroying us? I don't understand that. Your way is not working. Ever since y'all tried y'all way, it's been getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and it's everything opposite of what the Most God of what the Most High God says.
Oh, see what y'all did, man. Y'all done got 800 on the soapbox. He's gonna be doing like this for the next hour now.
That's what I still am. I want a career. I want a career to do something. I don't want to get married until I'm 30, to where my eggs are only like 25% left. Oh, wicked ass! Just listening to whatever the heathen tell you. I want to go to the white man's college. Yeah. Come on, man. This is, you know what I'm saying? Do you realize what's going on, Israel? Right? All these niggas that are raising up now that y'all hate, these are the niggas that the single mothers have raised up. So it's got to start somewhere. It's got to start somewhere. Why you think it was such a big deal about a sister being a whore in the scriptures? Y'all get put to death. It wasn't the man that they killed. They killed the woman. Y'all realize that? It was the woman that got put to death because she's the one that's spreading around the coochie, the free coochie. Everybody's going to take advantage of the free coochie. You know what I'm saying? Who don't want to take advantage of some woman out here that's giving it away for free? You don't got to marry her. Hey, you just got to take it to a nice dinner, show her a good time, and next thing you know, you in there hitting the skins. Any weak brother, and there's plenty of weak brothers, will be down for that, right? I mean, like, damn, is it that serious? I mean, is it that serious that you really need sex that much? You just craving ding-a-ling that much that you just can't do it right? I mean, I don't understand how this is such a it's like a plague damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like some kind of evil spirit of lust that just hopped on Israel that we just can't stop. Right? We got so much thought that man, I mean, niggas is so wicked that we out here talking about the sizes and the feeling of people's genitalia parts. That's wicked, man. You know what I'm saying? You know how like forward that conversation is to be saying something like that? That's wicked as hell. That now it's out in the open. That we just feel like it's okay to be talking about that kind of stuff. Man, come on, man. That's wickedness. On all levels. And then what? Yeah, you got all these experiences out here and all right, Israel. I'm just, you know, I'll go on and on because I just don't understand. You know, I read the scriptures and I know that, this has to happen, right? That, that's going to be wicked and that's going to be worse. And I see it and it's just so frustrating because you know that this stuff has to happen, right? But at the same time, you're just like, damn, man, why can't we just get it? You know what I'm saying? Why can't we get it? Why does this, why can't we just, cry aside now and then, get the Most High to come back instead of, I got to read in the scriptures that, my people are just going to continuously just being more and more wicked. And then we can see the tactician, right? We can see how the heathen are doing it. We can see it's right before our eyes. You know it. You can see what's going on. You know that these Jewish people, they only want the rappers to talk about negative stuff. They don't want the positive stuff. You can see it. It's like right in front of us. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like, y'all don't want to, like, nobody wants to, you know what I'm saying? They just keep doing it, right? You don't want to down the rappers. Nobody wants to come against it. Y'all keep buying the tapes. Y'all keep listening to the music. Y'all just keep on, y'all just keep on doing it. Y'all keep supporting it. Y'all keep on watching it, putting likes on the video and comments and stuff. And you know what I'm saying? I just don't get it. I don't understand. We know this stuff ain't helping us. We know they're trying to kill us, but we just don't care. We just let them kill us. Well, who cares? Yeah, man. Yeah, let's just let it pop off. Yeah, man. I don't care about my daughter. I'm not gonna whoop her. Man, beat her ass. I'm not gonna whoop my son. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a man, whoop his ass. You know what I'm saying? Knock him upside his head if he can't keep it in his pants. Because he's not gonna do nothing but just do what? Contribute to the same thing that we got going on. Man, we need the fathers to stand the hell up. Right? We need mothers to keep their legs closed and start teaching their daughters to be holy. That's just like the first thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? The commandments are just so simple to keep, I feel. You know what I'm saying? And then it's so easy to look at the scriptures and see what happens when you don't keep the commandments. Just open your damn eyes. You can look around the world and you can be like, okay, most high God say, I'm supposed to be with one man, right? Yeah, so you can just look at that particular situation, right? And boom, you were one man, and there's no 9 times out of 10, there's no trauma, right? But then all of a sudden, when there is, but then when you don't listen to the Most High God, you think it's okay to be a harlot, right? And you sleep with a lot of men, then what happens? You don't have trust, right? We have talk about your traumas and all kinds of other stuff. You talk bad about men, all kinds of stuff. Why are you talking bad about men? You know why? Because you didn't listen to what the Most High God told you in the first place. If you had kept your legs closed until you got married, then guess what? You wouldn't have that trauma. You wouldn't have that distrust and dislike of men. Right? If you listen to your father and be with your father, you see what I'm saying? It's like it all goes back from the beginning, from order than what the Most High God says. I don't know. I'm done, man. Y'all got any questions? If y'all don't got no questions, man, I'm just gonna close out. I'll probably need to pray some. Try to get the spirit off me. Serious, man.
All right, bro. We be all right. It's a Shabbat. Hey, Israel, look, y'all heard us say this a million times, man. Y'all know what's up. The stuff that we're saying right now, the people that need to hear it is not going to be on here. But y'all know the deal. The point that I've come to, like the scripture says, he that is filthy, let him be filthy still. He that is righteous, let him be righteous still. The wicked are going to be destroyed.
What?
That is for sure. But we're gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of your Shabbat, and we'll, the Most High is willing, we'll see you next time. So we're gonna wish you a Shabbat Shalom.
Stay strong, Israel. Stay strong.